that's when I was going to really like shoot myself. So this is Fundamentals of Algebra 1, Period 7. These guys are almost all freshmen, okay, except for a couple. Okay, so let me tell you about the class. We do basically the fundamentals of Algebra 1, okay? We don't get into the really, really heavy stuff, but we make sure they see enough of Algebra 1 so they can move on to geometry and Algebra 2. Every day when we come in, one thing I make sure of is that they've done their homework. You need to do that for me too. They need to do their homework. Okay, for two reasons. Number one, I'm a firm believer that when you do your homework, you do better in class. Okay? I don't know how I can do something up on the board and they say, oh yeah, I know how to do that when they haven't done it. They have to sit down somewhere else besides this room and try it themselves. Okay? Math is very easy to study for. I always hear this garbage about, oh, it's so hard to study for math. In history you just read, English you just write. Well, math you just keep doing problems until you get them right. You know, you do more and more. You got lots in the book, keep doing problems. Okay, very easy subject to study for, especially at this level. Okay, yellow sheets up on the board up there are homework lists. Okay, so when I collect homework, I check it off. Before I even check it off, before we do it on the board, and we do go over it on the board every single day, I check to see if they did it first. Okay, I come by all the desks and I see that they've given me some kind of effort. They don't have to do every single problem. I'd like to see them do every single problem if I think that they're easy enough to do, but I don't give them 40 problems, okay? I don't give them like that. I'll give them like 2 to 20 evens. What is that? 2 to 20, that's 10. Okay, sometimes if I'm counting. Sometimes I'll make it real hard. I'll say, do the problems from 1 to 50, every one that's divisible by 3. Oh, that starts. What are you giving me, a math problem so I can do my math problems? What's this all about? 3 and 6 and 9. Those guys, okay? So after I check to see that they've done it. That way I know they've done it before I go over it. Otherwise, if I'm up here on the board doing the problems, they're frantically copying them down. How do I know it was done before? How can I remember that? I have a stamp with my name on it, and I come by my stamp with my name. So when I get the papers up, if I see that stamp, I know that when I came by, it was done. Okay? They don't have to do every single problem, but as I said, if they give me an honest effort, that's good. Okay? There's going to be some problems towards the end. Always remember those problems at the end. It's like, these things are getting harder as we go along. If I go to the book, I make the hard problems first. Okay? And then they really try it. Well, actually, that's not a good idea because then you get discouraged very easily. And they say, I ain't doing this at all. But anyhow, if they give me an honest effort, they'll get credit for it. They don't have to get everyone right. They can get them all wrong. I don't care as long as they try it. If they're getting them all wrong, though, I'm worried. That's why we go up at the board and we do them. And then I say, okay, sometimes I'll say, well, how many got this one right? And I judge. I see how many hands are going up. And if I don't see a lot of hands going up, then we got a problem. We got to talk about how those problems. I'm sorry? You know what? That's a good question. I think there's homework every night, and they think there's homework every night. But then when I list all the homeworks for the marking period right here, when I get done at the end of the marking period, there's about 25 to 26 assignments. How many days are there in the marking period? 40. Okay, so somewhere along the line, there's 14 nights when they didn't get homework. It doesn't seem that way. It seems like they're getting homework. And, is there ever going to be a night when we don't get homework? It must be. Because I've only got 20. If it was homework every night, there'd be 40 assignments listed up there, but there's not. They don't get homework. They didn't get homework tonight. Why? Because they have a quiz tomorrow. You look up on the board underneath 7. There's no homework there. It says 9:25. That's tomorrow. Okay, I already changed the date at the top, so they have a quiz tomorrow. They know to study for it. I never give them homework that they have to have done the day of the quiz because I want them to concentrate on the quiz. Okay? Then generally, when they take the quiz tomorrow, they work real hard. Work all period long. I don't give them homework to take home on the weekend. This is a good class to get quizzes almost every Friday. I try to do that. First of all, their memory cells aren't working yet, and they can't remember past like last Tuesday. But I keep giving them problems to back it up each week. We look at older problems so that by the time we get to the end of the market period, they still remember the stuff that we did in September. But for me to give them a homework assignment on Friday or even do something on Friday and expect them to deliver it on Monday, it doesn't work at this level. So it's a good time. Why don't we just figure out what we know with a quiz and then start Monday fresh again. Okay, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we do stuff, and then another quiz. Every day when they come in, they get a warm-up. You should know know that those warm-ups count. 5 points each. And then I put them all together. And then that makes a quiz too. When I get 5 of those 5-pointers together, that's 25 points. That's a good size quiz. That gets averaged in too. So they get quizzes, they get warm-ups, and they get homeworks of 10%. So they really want to do their homework, not just because it helps them in class, but because it counts. Okay, so I'm very careful about counting those homeworks, making sure I don't miss one. And so they always know, every week I post this so it's up to date. I want no problems. Okay, I don't want, if there's a missing homework there, I want them to, the only reason they would be missing the homework is because maybe they didn't put their name on it. Okay, so I return all the homeworks in that blue tray up there. So if I say, you didn't do, they say, I don't have number 3. I said, well, go to the tray and see if it's in there. And almost 9 times out of 10, it's in there, their name's on it. Now, if they miss it because they've been absent, then they get a chance to make it up, of course. If they miss it just to miss it, it's gone. They can't make it up. Okay? Right away, I want them to learn that. If everybody else is doing the homework, they should too. There's no special dispensation here for them. Okay? So you do your homework when it's due, because it doesn't make any sense for me to stand up here. There's been times when I've had a class that's like 12, 13 people out of 17 didn't do their homework that night. How should I go over homework? What's the point? Nobody did it. No, hardly anybody did it. You have to do it this time. That's the most important thing in class. They will also get their averages posted after that quiz. Tomorrow, when I grade them all on Monday, they'll get an average so that they know what that quiz did right away. Did you hate that teacher in high school who never graded your quizzes like for 4 weeks? In fact, you had another quiz before he graded that first one? What was that all about? Right? Hate that. Never happens here. They get their quiz the very next day. If it's a Friday quiz, they get it on Monday. Every single time. Unless health reasons. Okay? Thank you for coming tonight.